This is my car burglary investigation. So this is my investigative team. The lead investigator is Detective Rudy. The crime scene investigator is Keith Paul. The crime scene photographer is Heather Penn. The investigative team continued. The evidence technician is Aaron Chamber, the lab analyst is Alexa Schwab, and the first responder is Officer Frank Beeks. Alright, so a little bit of the overview about the crime that we are dealing with today. The type of crime is a multi-vehicle burglary. The number of cars involved in this burglary is 4. The time and date of this crime and when it took place is May 7th, 2025 between 10:05 and 11:30 p.m. The location of this crime is 345 4th Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA, which is an apartment complex with an underground parking garage. Alright, so a little bit about the scene description of 4th Avenue. We are looking at the underground garage compartment of this scene. So this is a small 15 capacity underground garage connected to an apartment building. The 4 vehicles in the situation all damaged facing west. The other cars were not damaged in the parking lot, including 10 other cars at the time. There were pry marks on car doors. There was also glass all on the ground surrounding windows by the cars. Tools were recovered in the stairwell of the garage, such as a crowbar, a bat, and a screwdriver. We'll look at in the following slides where these were located. And then a sweatshirt was also found in the bathroom of the parking garage. And then there were no deceased bodies found at this scene. Alright, so here's a sketch of the crime scene. First we see car number 1 with about 14.7 feet long. Car number 2 is gray, also 14.7 feet long. We're looking at car number 3 in the middle, which is also 14.7 feet long, and then the blue car number 4, in the upper right hand corner, a little bit lower than, which is also 14.7. If you see under the pink car number 4, there's a door that gets into the that leads you into the stairwell. And then I have highlighted here in green the staircase that the evidence was found in. The orange X signifies where the sweatshirt was found, and then the red bracket in the upper right hand corner is where the car entry and exit is. I have some arrows kind of giving more information about the entry points and the staircase, and then as well as car number 1, car number 2, car number 3, and car number 4. Alright, so this next sketch is of the crime scene according to the stairwell. So this is the stairwell that the tools were found in. I have the blue cross or X with where the screwdriver was found, the red cross or X where the bat was found, and then the X, black X, where the crowbar was found on that little second story between the 2 staircases. And I also have a compass symbolizing that north, south, east, and west. Alright, so we were first going to look at the crowbar tool mark analysis. This tool mark was rusty, approximately 18 inches, collected using gloves and put in a paper evidence bag by Keith Paul at approximately 11:40 p.m. This was found on the surface between the staircases of the stairwell on 345 4th Avenue. This was analyzed under a comparison microscope with the door frame markings. The reference sample was the door frame gauges from the blue Honda Civic, car number 4. There includes some More information about the gouges, including a unique gouge, which was 2.1 centimeters by 0.4 centimeters with a 0.5 centimeter from tip. This photograph was taken by Heather Penn. Alright, so next we're going to be looking at the glass analysis. Here we're looking at some glass shards from the break-in of the door. These all varied in inches, so approximation wasn't able to be given. These were collected using tweezers and placed in plastic vitals at around 11:48 p.m. Keith Paul found this inside the cart number 1 on seats and ground around broken window at 345 4th Avenue. Alexa Schwab then used a refractive index testing using the oil immersion method. Scene samples had indices of 1.520 and 1.21. The suspect's sweatshirt, had a indice of 1.520. The reference sample was the glass from the passenger side window of the Nissan Elantra. This photograph was taken by Heather Penn. Next, we are looking at the hair fiber analysis. One strand of brown curly hair 6 centimeters long. Keith Paul collected using forceps and placed on a clean sheet of paper, placed into a paper bindle. This was found on the seat of the red Impala car number 3. Microscopy was used to compare the cuticle pattern and medulla structure. This was consistent with human hair, meaning that it needed to be compared to the suspects. The reference sample was the brown hair from the hoodie recovered in the stairwell. The photograph was taken by Heather Penn. Next, we're looking at the flathead screwdriver analysis, which was 7-inch flathead screwdriver, black handle with a clear yellow piece attached. Detective Rudy collected this using gloves and placed in a bag and labeled it. This was stored in the evidence locker at around 11:41 p.m. This was found under the staircase, and latent prints lifted and analyzed with ninhydrin and magnification by Alexa Schwab. Blue paint was found on the screwdriver, and the photograph was taken by Heather Penn again. Next was the knife analysis. This was a 4.5 inch serrated blade folding knife, 9 inches when not folding, an inch wide. Detective Ruby collected using tweezers and sealed in a cardboard sheath and placed in a bag at 12:04 a.m. This was found near vehicle number 2's left rear tire on 345 4th Avenue. Alexa Schwab analyzed for rubber residue and wear patterns with infrared spectroscopy. The reference sample was a shredded tire rubber from the Hyundai Sonata. Also, this photo was taken by Heather Penn. Next is the bat analysis. This is a 34-inch wooden baseball bat, 2.625 inches wide at the biggest part and 0.9375 at the smallest. Detective Rudy collected and placed this in a paper bag, dusted and labeled at around 11:40 p.m. Found under staircase near the east wall at 345 4th Ave, and Alexa Schwab analyzed for upholstery fibers. All right, the chain of custody for the crowbar. The evidence ID here is listed, 2025 CBS 001. The date that's collected, May 7th, 2025, at approximately 11:40 p.m. Collected by Keith Paul using gloves and immediately placed into a labeled paper evidence bag to prevent contamination. This was directly transported to the forensic lab by Officer Frank Beeks at approximately 12 a.m. This was logged into the evidence by technician Aaron Chamber and was placed into the evidence locker number 2 at 12:15 a.m. This was then transferred to the lab at approximately 9 a.m. the next morning, so this would be May 8th at this point, 2025, and released to analyst Alexa Schwab for toolmark analysis. Schwab documented via chain of custody log and timestamp signature. This was lastly returned and resealed to evidence locker number 2 with the correct updated documentation. All right, victim number 1, Beth Reef. She was associated with car number 1, and she lives in the complex. The summaries of the statement during our conversation: that she got home from work at around 6:30 p.m. Her dash cam was stolen from her car. The passenger door window shattered. Photo of family stolen, and she did not see anything happen. Next, Rich Terry. He was associated with car number 2, lives in the apartment building. Summaries of the statement was that he got home around 8:30 p.m. from dinner. His wallet/purse was stolen. His tire was slashed, and he was in his apartment, so he did not see anything. Victim number 3 was Greg Stu. He was associated with car number 3. He also lives in the apartment building. Summaries of the statement from him: that he got home from grocery shopping at around 9:30 and he did not see anything at that point. His wallet was stolen, and then he heard something around 10:30 but disregarded it due to noise always being loud at night. Victim number 4, Abby Smith. She was associated with car number 4, and she also lives in the apartment building. The summaries of the statement was that she got home from work around 4:30. Her work bag was stolen containing her computer, work ID, and paperwork, and she got picked up by a friend around 5:15, so she was not home. Possible suspect number 1 has brown hair, 6 foot, slim, and was declined from the apartment application list. Summaries of statement: he was nonverbal. The statement was that he claimed the tools were found, and the identification refused to provide identification. The summaries of description: this was the witness, Anna Hayes. She was walking home from the bar when Anna Hayes saw a 6-foot man, approximate 6-foot man with a slim body shape. He was in all black, wearing a face/ski mask, and she watched him exit the apartment building. Due to it being late and the head mask, she decided to call 911 and alert them of this person. Summaries of the statement: dispatch arrived at 10:45 after receiving the call. Officer Beeks arrived on scene at 10:57 and observed fresh glass debris near 2 vehicles visible with window damage. Officer Beeks secured the scene and took a preliminary statement from Anna Hayes. He began looking around the area for additional witnesses and surveillance footage. Within minutes, Beeks was alerted that a suspect matching the description was fleeing near 3rd Avenue. Officer Beeks remained on scene to assist the CSI team.